issues because you got to make sure at the same time, you got to know the game plan, got to get yourself prepared the best way you can, but at the same time, got to stay fresh, find a way to get fresh and healthy and get everybody, 100%. So it's more mental. We just got to stay locked in and know what's going on. I think, today was a kind of crammed in, but I felt like we got good work just being out there, getting some walkthrough stuff done, and at the same time having opportunities to, make sure that we're able to do recovery things and get our bodies back right. So.
Coming off from a quarterback like Kyler Murray and preparing for Russell Wilson, does that help on a short week?
Well, that's every quarterback in this league now, mobile, that can do all types of things with their feet. So, it's another divisional game. It's going to be a big game for us. So, back-to-back weeks with good quarterbacks, they can do a lot of things with their feet and arms. So, another challenge, but we're ready for it. So.
I know you play Russell Wilson twice a year every season, but you have the most sacks against him than any other quarterback you've faced. What have you done to be so successful against him?
I've been playing him. This is my 8th year playing against him. He's been there since I've been there, so that's probably why the sacks been like that. So I just play my game. When plays present themselves, I try to take advantage of it and make my plays when I can. So I've been playing against him for a long time, my 8th year now. So a lot of respect for him, the way he played the game. But I got to find ways to pressure him or find ways to affect him to the point where we can do enough to win this game. So.
Do you guys talk at all when you're out there with the
Who?
You and Russell Wilson?
No.
Aaron, for those of us who don't know what it's like to play a Sunday game, what's it feel like when you wake up Monday and kind of what it's Tuesday, I'd imagine you're doing a lot of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
You try to jam recovery and game planning?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. Like for this instance, this week, after the game, it's pretty much you really didn't have enough time after that game to really soak in the loss. It's pretty much right to recovery and right to study in Seattle that same night. So, just finding ways to stay in some type of routine, even though it's a shorter week, but maintaining, keeping your body fresh and healthy, but at the same time, getting your film studies in and understand what we got coming up with another good opponent. So.
Are you usually really sore, a little sore, no sore?
I'm usually sore, but I was pretty good after this game. I wasn't too sore, but I still made sure that I did everything I can as far as after the game and, my massages and doing the different things that I do to try to keep myself fresh. So I feel good. So.
What can you and the defense learn from the Cardinals game that will make it better going forward?
We just got to play better. I think we just didn't play a good game. We know that, but again, Sunday was the third game of the season, fourth game of the season, so it's still early in the season. So there's gonna be hiccups, but we can't afford that. Like I said, it's another divisional game back to back, so we got to play a lot better than what we did, and that's from tackling better, just understanding the game, certain schemes and assignment play, certain things like that. So we'll be fine. It's a learning experience. We good. We still confident. We still ready to go. And, we got to, like I said, it's another divisional game. So we got to be amped and ready for that. So.
It almost never happens that you have a stat line like you did on Sunday. No sacks, no TFLs, no quarterback hits. What are you like after that? How do you respond to that?
You just find a way to get better. They was able to stay in a situation where they had the lead and was able to stay to a game plan to the point where we didn't get really too many real opportunities to rush the quarterback in certain looks, and so they was able to do what they needed to do to block guys. But it's just football. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have okay days. That can affect you. Obviously, I want to make every play I can and every negative play if I can. I want 100 sacks. I want 1,000 TFLs if I can, but realistically, it ain't gonna happen like that. So I just got to keep playing and keep trying to find ways to get better. So.
In playing against Russell Wilson over the course of 8 years, how has he changed? I mean, is he the same guy he was when he was a rookie, or how has he evolved in terms of you trying to?
Well, he's a playmaker. He's different. He can do a lot of different things. Like we always talk about playing, he plays street ball, but he just played good football. He's a hell of a football player. Since I've been in this league as my rookie year, he's been the same player as far as the things he's able to do and get out of trouble and make things happen with his feet or with his arms. So, you know what to expect from that standpoint. But at the same time, obviously, him having them years in the league, understanding the game a lot more and able to see certain things and play better, you can see that as well. So, he's a great quarterback.
And this is often happening behind you, so you don't usually get to see it until run plays and some of maybe the mid-level after contact yards that players have been able to get at times in bunches. What's the emphasis on those when you guys get back into the film room and in your perspective in terms of communicating growth and togetherness and whatnot? How is that?
We just got to tackle better, and I don't blame that on nobody. That's all of us because we got to swarm. That's me, getting out the stack and running downfield if I need to get on and help that play. So we just got to swarm, and tackle better. That's all. That's fundamental. So that's nothing to worry about. That's something that we control as players and that we can do. So.
As someone who likes playing in loud environments, I know Aaron is loud and you guys are on defense up there, but how much you look forward to just going to Seattle and playing in one of the kind of crazier environments?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I know the fans gonna be talking a lot of trash, coming out and things like that. But you feed off that energy. You feed off the fans, the noise. It kind of make you want to make a big play just to quiet the stadium up. So you feed off games like this, man. It's a primetime game against a divisional opponent. So it's always a dogfight when we play these guys. So this is what you work for. This is why we're here. So it's gonna be a fun day.
I know we asked you about him at the beginning of the season, but it seems like Ishan Robinson did a couple of really solid games together back to back. What have you seen from him in terms of the blocks he's building?
He's just been playing stout, playing the run game really strong. Obviously none of us really, I feel like, as a team, we didn't do them things last week, but overall, if you take that last week game out of it, he's been playing great in the run, stout. So we got to continue to build off that, continue to get better, and continue to be a big part in helping us win games. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of been asking everybody this in terms of rolling over and preparing for the short week. What are the sort of condensed meetings and recovery and sort of the schedule? How does that sort of lay out for you guys heading into a short week?
It's pretty much fast paced. You got to learn how to adjust your mind and move past last game and move it forward to this game we got Thursday. That's pretty much what you got to do.
In that fast pace, how do you balance kind of the mental side of getting your body to recover, what is normally a recovery couple of days, versus now you've got a game plan, walk through?
For us, we started our recovery process right after the game, so we've been pretty much 2 days in it now. I feel like guys will be ready to play come Thursday.
Do you feel like, for lack of a better word, you're cramming for a test? You put more in a short period of time?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's football. We've been playing this forever, so we just got to attack the process, whatever the coaches got drawn up, and go out Thursday and execute.
You've had success against the Seahawks. Any special memories of playing against them?
Just got to go out and try to keep the same stuff going, taking it one play at a time.
What has worked for you?
Just going out with the right mindset, affecting the game in the run, the pass, and when I got to drop in coverage.
Hey, Leonard, I noticed in the spring and the summer you kind of were taking some of the younger guys under your wing and going through some technical work with them between drills and things like that. What have you seen from Terrell Lewis as he's continued to develop and throughout his journey of really just trying to get back healthy on the field?
I seen Terrell grow a lot from last year to this year. He's just becoming more and more of a pro. You know, he came in as a rookie, didn't really know how to be a pro, but this year he's definitely stepped up in that part.
How have you seen him sort of handle that adversity of, like, I know, him and the training staff, like, working through that situation week by week?
He's been doing a good job of attacking his rehab process and just going out fighting through whatever nicks and nats he got.
And what is he like as a person?
Oh, he's a great dude. He's a great dude. That's my friend.
I mean, do you guys hang out at all? Like, get along pretty well, it seems like?
Oh yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, we real cool.
It's, such a young player and a guy who's been in the league for a while. What kind of, what kind of things you guys talk about? You talk about at all football, or you try to keep it away from that when you guys?
We usually talk ball. We usually talk like what he see here, what I see there. It's usually strictly football. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys, I'm not letting, but in the game, in last week's game, I know you guys are trying to roll over it and everything, but it almost seemed like he sort of started to develop and get maybe his speed under him as time passed. When things weren't working in the outside pass rush, he was trying to get limbs freed and then to lanes and force that throw away. For you, in finding a partner opposite you, is that a quality you look for and expect, someone who can problem solve like that during a game?
Oh yeah, that's definitely an advantage I would want the guy next to me to have. Just that mindset and that want to of just keeping the offense from scoring. And I feel like T. Lou has that.
And one more from me, and I'll stop. I'm not working, but how's the ankle doing? I know you guys have been managing that. How are you feeling after these games, and what's the management plan moving forward?
I've been feeling pretty good. Reggie down got a great rehab process, and I've been buying into that, coming in the mornings and getting that extra work in. But I feel great. Yeah.
You run around the ball a lot last weekend. You got one sack, and then you got the second sack. You got the roughing the passer penalty. Was that penalty? What did you think of that call? And did you get an explanation from the officials? It just looked weird.
Yeah, it was a rough call. Referee made the best decision, I guess. Just move on to the next play, man. Try to go out and get another sack. I'll make up for it this week.
Are you good at that? Putting something out of your mind where you got that guy, you got the sack on third down, and all of a sudden it's gone, and you're looking around like this. Is that hard?
It's hard, but it's still move on to the next play. You got to keep him out. You got to keep him from scoring. So that was my main objective, just keeping him from scoring.
Set.
All right.
Thanks for your time, man. Some good stuff, yeah.
Can you just take us through preparation on the short turnaround?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously full steam ahead, trying to figure out, what we want to do and how we want to attack, as quickly as possible. Biggest thing for us as players is trying to get your body back after a game, and get ready to go on a Thursday. So that gets tougher and tougher every year. But, and then the mental aspect of it, just making sure that, we're on the details of what we want to do and how we want to go about it, and then go play.
You played in Seattle a couple of times. Do you remember about those experiences and how do you use them with your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously a lot of still some familiar faces there. Bobby Wagner's been there for forever. I've played against Quandre for a long time in practice in Detroit, so I know some of those guys. Jamal Adams is a big time player, but those experiences are always things you can learn from. It's a tough, hostile environment. Their fans do a great job. Russell's playing at a really high level on their side of the ball on offense, so it'll be a big challenge for us.
Matthew, what's it like? I think we covered this also at the end of training camp, that being a milestone, I think. But what's it been like so far for the first few weeks of the season, balancing sort of knowing that you need to have patience and let things develop versus wanting to just go for it, go all in every time?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a delicate balance you try to perfect. Make the correct decisions at the right time. I try to be aggressive, but take what the defense is giving you at the same time. That's a fine line. As far as, for me in this offense, I'm trying to still soak up as much knowledge as I possibly can, learn as much as I can from these guys and our coaching staff, and try to operate our offense, at a high level.
When things don't go perfectly, especially after so much initial early season momentum, how do you personally respond to that? Not just in your own self-scout, and maybe it's not the best thing to ask in a short week, but after a self-scout, and also your conversations with teammates.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me personally is just try to go back to the fundamentals, and just make sure you're as good as you possibly can be on those, and then let the chips fall where they may. There's an instance in every single game where I wish I would have been better fundamentally on something that probably would have helped me succeed in that play that we didn't succeed on. So I just try to go back to those basics as much as you can, especially on a short week. And for conversations with players, we've all played this game long enough. There's going to be times where we don't play as well as we want to. You want to make those games, as far between each other as you possibly can, and play really good, the rest of the time. But there was no time to sit there and think too much about it, especially with the Thursday game coming. So I think we're all excited to get back out there and go take it out on somebody else.
When you're new to Rand versus Seahawks, but the teams have quite a bit of history, especially in recent years. Do you sense that? Do you hear anything about that?
I mean, I could feel it from afar when I wasn't here. You just know that they're two teams that have a bunch of pride. They both play at a high level, really well coached teams with a bunch of recent success. So I'm excited to be a part of it. It's excited to get my first taste of it on Thursday.
When it comes to getting your body back, Matthew, do you have a certain, like, when you get more massages, do you have a particular favorite recovery modality?
No, a little bit of everything. Kind of throw the kitchen sink at it and see what happens. No, it should be good. We do a great job here. Thursday is one of our biggest kind of practice days around here, so our bodies are somewhat used to getting ready for a big day on Thursday. So just kind of go about it like that, and I know come Thursday night I'll feel about like I normally do on a Thursday practice with adrenaline, which is great, and it should feel a little bit better than that.
So does that help you mentally, that big Thursday practice, knowing you are?
I mean, I think so. It gives you practice towards, getting ready for something that, is so immediate. And those practices are earlier than we would play on a Thursday night game, so you get yourself a couple extra hours in there and then go play.
You don't decide whether to go for it or work out or not, but philosophically, as a football fan, as a football guy, what's your general thought on progression on going for it or working out?
I don't know. I feel like that's almost the question for the analytics guys. I feel like everybody's been crunching numbers about that, especially as of recent, the last few years. When I first got into the NFL, it was never even a thought. It was fourth down. Didn't matter. You're pretty much punting the rock and letting the defense go out there. So it is definitely evolving. I feel like teams are becoming, certain teams are becoming more aggressive, I guess. I don't really know. It just depends on feel and analytics. I feel like that's what a lot of those teams rely on is the numbers and what the numbers tell them to do, and you go from there.
When you have a group of such talented, skilled players that are options, how do you manage keeping them all happy, or feeling like that they're contributing not only as blockers, but getting targets and passes?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I try to go through my progression and throw the ball where the ball should go. And I think we do a decent job of that around here, spreading the ball around. Can we be better? I'm sure, but I try to get everybody involved as much as I can, and that's just through playing the game. I'm learning a new offense. Not new, but it's new to me, I guess, and I'm trying to just do my job in that offense more than anything at the moment, and let those kind of things happen as they happen.
I know you already mentioned Floyd and a few of those guys, but is there anything specifically on this defense this season that's going to be a challenge for you guys Thursday?
I think it always is with this team. They do a great job of letting their guys play. There's a few things they do that are put a bunch of stress on us as an offense, but a lot of times it's just letting their guys line up and go play. And they've got really good football players on defense, and they know the scheme inside and out, so they play fast. They play to the tendencies, to the strengths, and all those kind of things. So it'll just be about us going out there and operating at a high level.
I asked you last week about some of the nonverbal stuff with Van Jefferson that seems to be clicking. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like this touchdown had some elements of that with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take me through that and what that was and how that happened?
Yeah, I mean, I just, got out of the pocket. Our guys did a great job of getting me out of the pocket, and just felt like the defense was overrunning the play. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Buddha was all the way on the front side of a route that's supposed to be breaking out, and he's the post safety. So that wasn't something I thought was going to happen when we called the play. It's probably the last option in the playbook, but sometimes, you just have a feel for it and feel like everybody's overrunning it. I tried to let Van know where I thought the opening was. He's obviously running downfield and moving around. I've got a little bit better view of what's going on around everybody, and was able to. He was able to see me and make the adjustment. We scored.
When you came in and met everybody for the first time, what were your first impressions of Van?
Well, I've known Van since he was about 15. No, it was first impressions was, crazy that I'm in the same locker room with him. He's really a quick twitch guy that's, really can separate, has really good long speed as well. He's run by some people, this year, which I think is a big thing for us. I think his biggest thing is just continuing to gain experience, which will happen through just playing games and practicing and all those kind of things, seeing different looks and situations and corners and all that kind of stuff. So, he's just a young player, but, comes from a family that knows how to get open and, a dad that probably taught him how to run routes at a very young age. So, that was all in him innately. He's just got to gain experience and continue to grow, which I think he's doing at a nice level right now. Good kid, man. A lot of fun to be around. Smiles all the time, infectious smile, having a good time, loves the game of football, likes to go out there and compete. Talk trash with the DBs on our team and have fun doing it. So it's a lot of fun.
Weather in Seattle right now is not perfect, but obviously played in the dome, now you're playing Southern California, how do you feel it is that weather?
I feel good. Played in some rain games in my life. Just all depends on how hard it's raining and all those kind of things. We'll just adjust as we need to. Good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
It's always good to get back with the guys after a tough loss. It's always good. Sometimes you need those wounds, and then you need to be around your guys. And then today, being around the guys, getting out there in the practice field, going through it with them, are all the things that make you a better football team. So get back out today, get back to practice, get back to work with the coaches. Being led by Sean and his demeanor and how he goes about his business is awesome. So, being here with you guys today is just another part of it.
Do you like, Raheem, do you like having a short week to kind of move past a game like that, or do you wish you had more time to make the adjustments and really spend the time you want to on making this?
I think that's the cliche thing to say, so you don't have to dwell on the loss so long. But, I think you don't like it no matter what happens, But I think the fact that it is a short week, it allows you to move your focus towards your next victory. You never want to let those kind of losses spill over into multiple losses. So to be able to go out there and get right back to work and be able to get these guys right back in the direction, and everybody, what went wrong. You know what you need to do to fix it. You just need to go execute what you want to get done better. Our execution and our tackling wasn't good on defense, so we didn't play well. So those things are easy to correct by speaking and saying and going out and doing what we need to do. So a lot of things you can get done in the classroom. So we look forward to doing it however you'd like to do it. I always say this, our job as coaches is to identify problems, and their job as players is to fix them. So let's go out there and do those things this week.
What did you guys identify? I mean, was it scheme, was it execution, was it all the above?
A lot of it was execution and tackling. When you go back and you really look at it, we didn't execute the things that we wanted to get done. We weren't able to go out there and execute our tackling plan. We weren't able to go out there and throw hands and hit blocks and shed people and eliminate the runs. We weren't able to go out there and make them one-dimensional, so they have to pass the ball to unleash the best part about what we do is rush the passer. All those parts of the game are execution. You can dig and dive into the little things of it all, but if you look at the big picture, it was a lack of execution. And there was a lack of tackling. You missed a few tackles there on some really big-time football players, some special athletes. I know, I get it, but you got to make those tackles. If those tackles are made, those plays are made, the outcome is different. The result is different. No matter how bad it felt or how bad it looked, at some point you always felt you were one play away from getting to the next point, whether it was that 3rd and 16 stop or whether it was us scoring on offense or whether us making a play on defense or special teams. You were one play away at all times, and that's the National Football League. And then at the end, when you're out there and you're fighting for desperation type stuff happens. That's what a 54-yarder popped out for the run. And those things happen in those moments when you're trying to do things out of desperation to try to get that win. So you go back and you look at it, and when you really boil it down, as you ride home in that 58-minute ride to my house, it's execution and it's tackling.
Russell Wilson,
Oh.
obviously, a little bit with Kyler Murray, but some similar traits. Is it coming off being against Kyler Murray help at all in planning for Russell Wilson?
Now, I don't know if you can say that. Russell Wilson is his own breed of animal in his own right. This guy, he's one of the original guys of being off the pocket, being in the pocket, being able to beat you from anywhere. And last week was a clear-cut example of how he can do that. He scrambles out to his left. He's able to, look down the field, see no one, survey it, and just run for a 30, 40-yard run, dive in the end zone, ignite his team, come back out. When it's not looking great for him, that defense is playing great in San Francisco. He's able to roll to the other side. He can have the same type of look where you think he's about to run. He just unleashes a missile down to that corner over there, and he catches a great ball by his guys. He's a great player. I know that word is thrown around way too much in this National Football League, but Russell has proven it year in, year out that he's one of the absolute elite and best, and he definitely presents us certain different type of challenges on his own.
Where are you seeing the disconnect between what you guys want to do philosophically against the pass, and particularly in containing this explosive plays, and what you said in the execution?
Jordan, the most part is like you got to go out there and make it one-dimensional. When people get explosive plays like they did last week, it's usually because you got to either overcommit something to the box, you're trying to stop something extra, you're trying to do something different, or you just missed an opportunity. And then all those things kind of happened. It was a all-out downfall. You had the first 3 and out there. Things are going well. You get to them once, you make them throw it away. You absolutely get a sack on the third play of the game. You go out, you get a turnover. They're able to drive the field. You come back out. You get the short field again. They score again. You go right away. It's 14-0. They got control of the game. They're dictating terms. We're not able to take over and dictate how you want to dictate. Let's go stop the run, eliminate the big passes, all those type of things. The philosophy kind of goes up the window. Then you got to fight and you got to battle through. You got to claw. You got to scratch, and you find your way back into those games. And that's where the disconnect came up early. Happened pretty quickly in the game. Happened pretty fast, and we had to adjust. And we weren't able to adjust enough to get the win.
Tuesdays is normally obviously a player's day off. From a coaching standpoint, as a man who once played, how physical, what's the challenge kind of focusing more above the net, knowing these guys are still recovering?
The best part for coaches is you can go attack your work right away. You know, you go home, you get a quick glimpse at it, you look at it, you figure out what went wrong, what you need to do better, and then you're able to just go attack the next week. You're able to attack the next week and get these guys in, and you're able to incorporate it into this week. So as you're incorporated into this week with their recovery, getting their mental state right, you know, turning that thing around and be able to go on the grass and sit and talk to these guys about what the looks are going to look like, how these guys are going to be. It's really good. It's really cool for a coach. You know, it's like, this is what you're paid for. This is what your time is for. This is what your momentum is for. This is why you are the leaders that you are put to be. You go out there and lead those rooms. You lead those units, and coach will lead the team, and we'll come out this thing in the right way.
What is Aaron Donald like after a frustrating day like that? You don't see a stat line often for him with no sacks, no TFLs, no quarterback hits.
He is normally pretty grouchy anyway, but I would like to say he's probably particularly more grouchy after a loss. You know, like not in a bad way, probably in more of a serious demeanor, get back to work type of way. He's just as anxious as anybody else, you know, to go out there, you know, just to have him slip away a few times from him because of the guy's unique ability, like we talked about before in Kyler. But usually those type of things frustrate any great player, and that frustrated him that day, and not being able to execute what we wanted to get done to make it one-dimensional so you can unleash Aaron, to get more opportunities to rush the passer and to be effective on the game. You know, those are the things that probably frustrate you the most for a guy like that.
How has Russell Wilson kind of evolved? Is he doing the same things now he did when he was rookie? Is he doing some things more, some less, that as a defensive coordinator present challenges?
You know, he has evolved from, at one point he was managing the game behind a great defense. He has absolutely taken over the offense and showed he was the guy that can throw it all over the yard at times before. He's definitely shown his league that he's a winner, winning early, winning the Super Bowl, going to another one. He's a guy that consistently keeps his team in the fight, keeps his team in the hunt. He's evolved into the ultimate pro. He's fun to watch when you're not playing him, and he's absolutely fun to go compete against, because you want to compete against the highest level of guy at all times, and he's certainly one of those guys.
How do you balance giving guys enough time to grow into their shoes a little bit in live action versus the consideration of shifting things around, changing personnel in some spots?
You always got to do that every single week. You got to evaluate those things. You know, every single week, everybody's under evaluation, moving people to different spots, having to use different people based on performance or based on injury, and those things will consistently be done. Here, we'll always do those things. You know, when you got the kind of team that you have here, a team that's able to be 3-1 at this stage of football, and a team that's looking for bigger goals and bigger things in life, you got to be ready to make those moves and make those changes if necessary.
How was David Long playing as a winner?
You know, he didn't have a great game last game. You know, there's no secret about that. That was like the setup question of all time. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys, you know. We've seen him struggle before. We've seen him struggle in the practice once before. We've seen him bounce back. We've seen him struggle this week in this game with 2 opportunities to make a play on the ball and not make them. You want him to make those plays, you know, and when he gets his opportunity, I'm sure he will, you know. But, you know, he's got some really good people behind him. You know, you got Rochelle who go out there and do some things for him. You got different packages that we can use. And, you know, I'm not counting David out, but he's certainly one of those guys who's going to need throughout this whole season, and we're going to need throughout the whole process. But he's got a lot of mental toughness, and I've seen a bunch of it in my short time here already. They're big-time players, you know. You got DK Metcalf, who, you know, probably see a lot of Jalen, who's been matched up with him before in the past, and I don't think it's any secret that they know they're going to be matched up with each other, and I think Tyler Lockett be matched up with D. Will a bunch, and their unique quickness and their size and their speed, that makes those guys ultimate matchups that they've done before in the past around here. And then, you know, obviously we move people around, so those things change out a bunch, but those 2 guys present great challenges. Down the field threats, guys that can move with quickness, guys that can move with speed and power. They present all the challenges from a receiver standpoint that you need.
With Jalen, what's kind of determining whether he's going to be, you know, the top receiver or last week with DeAndre Hopkins just moving around so quite a bit, and obviously this week.
I think it's the situation. I think a lot of it is my weekly preparation on when I think the ball is being targeted to a guy and when we can get him to that guy. Last week we got 2 great targets on him down in the red zone. Jalen made a great play in the end zone. Got another target on a big-time 3rd down where it was a fight all the way to the ground that D-Hop almost came up with a big-time catch. Was proud of Jalen in those type of performances and those type of moments that those are the times you want to get those guys matched up, when you can get them in those moments that are make a difference plays, the mad play opportunities. You want to get him in those type of things. He almost got that thing turned around for us. After that play, you felt a little momentum shift, and he waved his arms in the air. He got everybody excited, and you felt like no matter how bad this day was going, that guy was about to turn this day for us, and he almost did, and we just fell short.
All set.
Have a good one, guys.
Not the time. Not the time.
What's up, guys?
I know you guys are trying to roll forward and everything. Just when Matthew's limited turnovers, only I think turned twice so far this season. What is he like when he diagnoses that with you and with others on the sideline? It's all on the tablet, I think next to you at that point in the game.
Yeah, that's kind of our routine as we come off and good plays, bad plays, whatever it is. It's more just assessing kind of an inventory of what we're getting defensively. It's not so much, how did that happen type of thing as, what was the look, what were you thinking, how were you playing it, so that if something similar comes up, we can kind of move forward and have, some positive thoughts about some other things in the game plan, whatever it is. But sometimes it's not, no turnover, no interception. They all have their own story, and Lord knows I had plenty of them as a player. So you look at it from a standpoint of what could have, was it scheme? Was it, a look that we hadn't been prepared for? Was it just a pulled the string, didn't get it out there enough? Location of a throw? Was it fundamental? Was it something we could have fixed positionally by the quarterback? And if it's not, we're moving forward. If it is, then we fix it and we're ready to roll either way. So that's the benefit of having a guy like that who, he vividly remembers what he saw. Why the why is always easy to get from him, and then that's what makes it great to coach him, because we can kind of collaborate and just move forward. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be it's definitely going to be a loud environment, and we experience it at Indy, getting a chance to go on the road and use some of our silent cadences and things. So we just kind of simulate it where we can. But just rely on the fact that we did a lot of stuff in training camp to kind of get ready for these games, and our nonverbal communication, we like to think, is prepared for an environment like this, but there may not be a tougher one to go to than this one, especially, on a short week. I'm sure they'll be ready to go.
What is the term about a short week from your standpoint, when guys are kind of recovering their bodies and not going at almost full speed of practice?
Yeah, we do such a good job from a sports performance standpoint with Reggie and Jay Love and really Coach McVay leading the charge of, we need to make sure we got a fresh team. We need to make sure guys feel good, despite the quick turnaround. So we stress them above the neck where we can in our walk-through, jog-throughs, make sure the meeting time is maximized so that they're not sitting around all day, kind of get them in, get them going, the different phases of what we're trying to, really speed up in a 2-day process that normally we have 3 or 4 days to prepare for. So it's a lot, and you got to be organized with how you're, giving that information out, and there needs to be some dialogue there leading up all the way. I like to say beyond, normally we like to get on the plane as locked and loaded as possible, but sometimes there's some dialogue all the way through, the hotel walkthrough or even those last quarterback meetings. Yeah, I think one of the things we really like to do is have that balance, and especially it was great to see Darryl getting a rhythm, and we were running the ball well, and there were some complimentary looks we had that we tried to get to some things kind of in the marriage of the run in the past that just sometimes they come up and it's like, wow, that was a great thought, and other times you look back on you're could we have run it more, could we not have? I think every drive, every situation, time on the clock, score of the game, it kind of dictates, where we go with things, and we're always having that dialogue amongst coaches on the headsets during the game of kind of, what the thought process is moving forward. But I think, outside of our 2 turnover drives where we turned it over on the first play and the second play, I want to say we had 9 plays was our next shortest drive after that. So you're talking significant drives. Not now where we need to improve, obviously, is finishing with touchdowns and points, but you're talking drives where there was a lot of plays, a lot of volume, where you can really get into that mixture, run and pass, and try to stay in that attacking mindset.
Seen a couple where it seems like the ball's been underthrown. How do you manage a guy with that kind of arm talent, finding that balance with this receiving core?
Yeah, I think it's as many reps as we can get out on the practice field. But the other thing is just, when these looks present themselves in a game, he's thrown a lot of long targets right on the money, and I think he's trying sometimes. You don't want to miss it long and not give our guys a chance. And I think sometimes just the look that presents itself, depending on what route we're talking about, where the good miss kind of is, and that's for us to talk about after a game. But I'll tell you what, he's, when you scheme things up and you see things kind of come to life with him, he doesn't miss it very often. So when he has a throw where he would like to have that one back, we talk about it, and normally it just comes down to what his vision of that particular route was, or what the pocket was like, or the timing of the play might have been thrown off by a reroute from a defender. Just little things that maybe when the ball hits the ground you don't see, but the process leading up to when he tries to trigger things and throw things in rhythm, that picture can change when the ball's in the air. So it's a lot. Just try to simulate and make sure he understands exactly where the intent is to throw the ball, and then our guys to go get it.
And then as a former quarterback, you can also look up as an offensive coordinator. How do you manage keeping all of these talented receivers happy? I mean, obviously the goal is to win the game, but they all have egos.
Yeah.
They all have contracts. How do you make sure that everyone's kind of getting their fill?
Yeah, I think it starts first and foremost with us as a staff, and obviously myself and Sean and the rest of the group making sure that we've got a plan when we present it, as we did today and as we will the rest of the week, that everybody sees that their number's getting called. Now, the defense gets paid too, and those coaches are really good on the other side, so sometimes number one's not open, but that doesn't mean that the intent wasn't to throw the ball to that guy. So it's really, who's where, who's doing what, and that they all know that they're a major part of what we're doing. And that I've said this multiple times, all 5 eligibles coming alive, depending on the concept. That's our goal, because we want to distribute the field and make sure Matthew can see coverage and kind of, it's not always number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It could be any combination, and really it's just making sure those guys know, hey, you're all up. So really, whether we're trying to target you by how we scheme something, or you're just doing your job on the backside, and we've had guys catch touchdowns this year on that very, Cooper Kupp versus the Colts, and, the last touchdown of that game, I just, you could see Matthew looking at 3 other guys before he gets to Cooper, and that's just how the coverage played out, what they took away, and where we kind of progress reading with our feet and finding the open guy.
Because you have so many high-ranking coordinators and assistants on the field, not that everybody is all high-ranking, but in terms of decision makers. And so then when you guys are in the headset, what is the line of dialogue between what people are saying all 22 versus what you guys are seeing down the field, and how do you guys use that dialogue to make decisions?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on pre-snap, from personnel that's in the game defensively to, down and distance to, situations that could be coming up via the clock, the score, the end of first half, end of the second half, all those things. And then there's more of the big picture, what we want to get accomplished on that drive, what plays are coming up, so that we call it previewing it with our guys. So guys, know we've got a big call sheet, we got a big menu of things, but if we can get that laser focus to certain things by the drive, openers to start the game, second half openers, menus of things, so that those guys can be prepared, I think you can be that much more out in front of things that could come up.
You guys are 3-1. I know Ram fans are jumping off the cliff right now with the loss, but what do you like about this team? I know it's early. What do you like when you look back at the first 4 years?
Yeah, the one thing, when adversity has hit, obviously when we lost the lead in Indianapolis, and just the response that we had as really a team in all 3 phases to come back from that, get the lead, keep the lead, and come home with a win against a really good football team. Then I think back to last week, there wasn't one time where, anybody on our sideline felt like we weren't going to win the football game until basically there were zeros on the clock. And that's a lot of times coach speak, but with our group I don't feel like it is, because I'm just going off of what I observe and the leadership on our team, and when it starts with your quarterback and some of the guys up front, guys in the receiver room, tight ends, and our backs. As a group, we have leadership all over that group. I can't speak much for the defense, but I can tell you that I feel their leadership as well, just from an overall team perspective. We're ready to respond when adversity hits, and it's just that's not going to be the first time we're tested, and it'll come again, and hopefully we just continue to improve on our response and be as consistent as possible. Yeah. Thanks, guys.